My name is Greg Hoberock. I am a resident of the state of Missouri. I live in Missouri. I was born and raised in Missouri. I spent a very short period of time outside of Missouri in Cincinnati, Ohio for 2 years. Come from southwest Missouri, down around Neosho, Missouri. I currently own HGH companies and several other businesses in the state of Missouri. We work throughout the Midwest, 6 or 7 states. I'm a member of Associated Builders and Contractors. I am their past chairman, and they've asked me to come down here and speak. Incidentally, I am the current national chairman of Associated Builders and Contractors. We represent 19,000 construction companies across the country and represent those companies employ some 3 million workers across the country. I'm here to offer my personal support and the support of our association for this bill. I've heard all the testimony before. I've heard it over in the Senate. I have never spoken on the subject before, and I'm not going to cite statistics because, as Representative May pointed out, anybody can deliver any sort of study to say whatever they want. First thing I look for when I'm reading a study is who paid for it. If you tell me who paid for it, I can tell you what the study says. It's pretty that simple. So let's just talk about some things I've heard and apply some good old Missouri common sense to the issue. Economic development. I hear the union side say that it has no impact on economic development. I hear those in favor of right to work say there are businesses across the state, across this country, that will not look at Missouri because they are not right to work. Okay. I don't know whether I believe it or not. I don't know. I've never heard it. Here's what I do know. I've never heard those who represent a union stand up and testify that businesses will not come to a state because they are right to work. Never heard anybody claim that. Since nobody's claimed it in all the arguments we've had over it, I assume that not to be a true statement. So, if all things equal, why take the chance? Why take the chance? If you're looking at economic development, take that issue completely off the table because it may have an impact positively. We know it doesn't have an impact negatively. Secondly, I hear a lot about fairness. My mama, who just recently died at 101 years old, taught me at a very, very, very young age, life's not fair. It's just that simple, life's not fair. And if you really want to talk about fairness, I should have a right to a job, any job, and not be forced to pay anybody to hold that job, short of the government entities to protect us in the form of taxes. That should be my right. That's fair. If there are members, my co-employees, that want to be represented by unions and want to pool their resources to make their jobs better, and I get a little bit of benefit out of that, is their right to do that. I acknowledge their right. I defend their right to do that. Just don't force me to do it. Just don't force me to do it. So if you apply a little bit of Missouri common sense to it, it doesn't seem to me that there's any downside to right to work. I understand people say you have lower wages. Okay, we're open shop. Shoot, we're in the construction industry open shop. I see a lot of union members in the construction industry sitting out there. I have several of my employees that make 6 figures. I'm sure there are several members of the construction industry that love to make 6 figures. Some do, some don't. Good employers pay the cost for good employees. I'm not a history major, but I think we all know that unions came about because employers abused employees. I acknowledge that. I'll tell you that straight up. I will tell you that I think the fall of the union membership in the country since the 1950s is because power changed a little bit and unions abused management and management said we're done. So I think you need a balance. I don't think this bill excludes union membership. I think it gives the employee the right to make their own choice to further the income and to have a job and do what they want to do. Thank you very much.